Hello everybody and welcome to my DesignSpark PCB tutorial today. Today I've been looking at DesignSpark and looking at some of the great help features that we've got built into it. Some of the questions that we've received since we got DesignSpark PCB was that there were no manuals, available, in hard copy for what is obviously seems to be quite an involved package, with this schematic capture and PCB and the output files, etc. But one of the great features of DesignSpark is very simply all of these manuals have all been inbuilt into the software of PCB. Simply all you need to do anywhere in PCB is just simply to press F1 on the screen and hey presto, we're into the help file. Now this help file system is great because it lets you work, it's context sensitive to any words that you put in. So if you only know partially what you're looking for, like it could be to do with layers, or it could be to do with the library manager or pads or anything like that, it'll do a partial search and will give you the best number of hits returned on the keywords that you've used. So for instance here we have a library manager already pre-populated. If I'm to hit that, I can see here that a number of options appear here on the screen. So if we just take the top one, what we see here is just quite literally some great instructions just here on the library manager, showing some examples backed up by actual screenshots. So this is really useful, and the actual amount of data that's been put into DesignSpark here is quite vast, literally. So if we look at some other examples, perhaps like if we look towards layers, as we know, DesignSpark PCB, you can have as many electrical layers as you wish in a design. Again, we have a number of options returned here, so you can see just the amount of information that we can store. But just for example here again we can see some description of the actual the topic that we're interested in, and also we can see there again a screenshot, so that when we come back to DesignSpark PCB we can see exactly what the screen should look like, and obviously this should help us along. So again, this is, we think, it's a real nice tool, and hopefully it answers a question as regards why we don't put a manual out. So, and as you can see here, there is an option as well, if you're still not sure, flicking between screens, you can actually print any of these pages out as well for yourself. So that's another good option you've got, so you can have a copy on your desk to work from. So, as I mentioned, this is quite simply, here we're in the PCB screen. We could be in the schematic or anywhere in the library manager. We hit F1 anywhere on the screen and instantly we're in the help file system. So that's one to bear in mind, when you're using DesignSpark. There are a lot of questions and a lot of information in there that you can use. So, some of the other questions that we've received from from users who said, hey, what, this is kind of my first time, or I've not done a lot of PCB design work. How do I get started? Again, it's the question, do we do this in manuals? Well, quite simply, again, we've actually built all this into DesignSpark PCB also. So what you get within PCB is, if you go to the help files just up here, in there you'll see a number of options again to go to the help files that we've just seen, which we can shortcut with the F1, or to the tutorials. Now in tutorials we have 3 documents here: an actual live design tutorial which works hand in hand with you step by step through a live example of putting together your first schematic, your PCB design, and eventually your output files. We also have a library creation document, which is the one that's of real interest, because this shows some of the power of DesignSpark PCB, how you can create your own components in the library very, very quickly with the wizard, which we'll be coming to at some point in the future. But for instance here now, we've made it very easy. You can see this is built into DesignSpark. It's there instantly for you to use the minute you've installed DesignSpark. Here we can see the PDF document. Obviously, once it's a PDF, you can save this, you can print it, whatever you need to do with it. But if I just pop down to the contents, one of the nice things about the help files is that we're not talking pages and pages and pages of like instructions and commands and things like that. What we're looking at here, if I just zoom that in, this document alone on library creation is approximately 35 pages in length. And when we look to what the content of what's in there, we're looking at library creation, creation of schematic symbols, creating of PCB symbol footprints, and the actual ultimate creation of the components in the library. So again, you know, we saw some pictures before, some ideas of what the data was like in the help files. We're looking at the same kind of thing here, just in the PDFs. So not all text, but backed up by design, you know, drawings, diagrams, etc. And here, if we just scroll down, we can see just very nicely, again, bringing us back to the library manager here. Lots of pictures, lots of graphical things, as we said, to really walk you through the actual process. So again, just to recap on what we've looked at here, just quite simply within DesignSpark, as when you install it, DesignSpark PCB as a package, what you get in there is obviously the F1 is the key to remember for all your help files, and obviously then to look to the help menu itself for tutorials if you're just getting started or want some guidance on how to start creating your own components or your first designs. So I hope you found this first video on kind of what I call do-it-yourself DesignSpark PCB, and I hope you take some value from this. Thank you very much.